For some in New Haven, that last story might bring back memories of past protests here at Yale. In the 1970s, the Black Panther New Haven chapter held protests that shocked the campus and city for days. Joseph Vincent and Lily Rivkin bring us an eyewitness account of what that was like and give us more insight to the exhibit that's going on right now at Sterling Library entitled Panther and Bulldog. We go to them for more.
In May of 1970, the New Haven nine Black Panther Party members were on trial for the kidnapping and killing of fellow Panther Alex Rackley. They suspected he was an informant for the FBI. But this was not the only cause of the civil unrest.
There were two members of the New Haven Panther Party who I knew personally, who were in the back of the room, and they were very quietly each reading a newspaper. In the rest of the courtroom, there were white people, many of whom were chatting with each other, making noise, bustling about doing things. And for reasons no one ever understood, Judge Mulvey slammed his gavel down and found the two black men in contempt of court and put them in jail. And that kind of exploded on the scene, and that was what caused President Brewster to say that he was sad that he had a feeling a black person could not get a fair trial in the United States.
News soon broke that tens of thousands of Panthers, supporters and radicals would arrive in New Haven to protest.
It drew in a lot of people. I mean, I don't know if you know or not, but like Jerry Rubin, who was one of the Yippies, the Youth International Party members, had given a speech in Boston at the beginning of April where he was saying that there were going to be 500,000 people descending on New Haven and they were coming to burn Yale.
What happened at other institutions who tried to keep radicals out, and the result was that people were arrested, people were seriously hurt, buildings were burned. We decided to take a different point of view, and we decided to allow the radicals to come onto the campus. The second part was that we engaged in an enormous amount of pre-planning, which was not just Yale, it was the New Haven Police Department, the National Guard, the U.S. Attorney General's office, a whole series of people, and the planning turned out to be good planning. And so nothing happened.
Kingman Brewster had a handle on a little piece of this, but there was a much bigger context that he didn't really have a handle on. And I think he really thought, it becomes clear when you read his stuff, he thought that, he basically sat in a control room off the green, over by Elihu somewhere. I think maybe Henry Hall, I'm not sure exactly where it was. Thinking that if anything happened and anybody died, that was going to be the end of his presidency of Yale.
From the residential colleges to individual students, Yale readied itself and participated in the protests.
Students didn't know what was going to happen. Now, we offered any students who wanted to the opportunity to go home. It turned out very, very few students availed themselves of it. We secondly tried to get the students involved. So, for example, each residential college, which was going to be open and filled with radical people, was given a special assignment. So Pearson College was the first aid college.
At the same time, to support the this moratorium on classes that was established, Yale students organized themselves to go out in the community and do these things they call teach-outs, where they go out and interview community members and talk about the issues about the trial and things like that. So there's a lot of, it wasn't just from the Yale student perspective, I think it wasn't just, we don't have classes and there's all these people coming to burn down our school. There was a lot of engagement around the issues with members of the community.
Right on New Haven Green 30 years ago, the New Haven protest ended peacefully 2 days after they started. They left their mark. Yale saw that the old ways of dealing with the young and radical were outdated, and there needed to be a change.
With authority. They saw authority as not being interested in the future and in youth. So one of the things that President Brewster had decided was that because someone was protesting didn't make them bad, and that you really ought to listen to what they were saying. So that during the course of not only the period around May Day and the Panther trial, but during the period before and after, it was his philosophy, and therefore our philosophy, that if a person came in and challenged us, we'll listen.
I'm Don Cornelius, and as always in parting, we wish you love, peace, and so. can bet your last money it's all gonna be a stone gas, honey. I'm Don Cornelius, and as always in parting, we wish you love, peace,